Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for tuning in to my weekly guitar blog. It's January 6th, 2013, and this week we're going to discuss altering guitar licks for more variety. And this question was sent in by Vinnie. He's from New York City, and he wrote in with this email to me. My guitar soloing is going nowhere. Everything I do is exactly the same, and I can't seem to break out of this rut I'm in. What kinds of techniques do you teach your students at Creative Guitar for learning to get their solos to sound different each time? I hope this question makes sense. I just want my licks to have more variety. My approach now just has every lick being like a carbon copy of the last. And please don't ask me to get a teacher because I can't afford one. Thanks, Andrew, from Vinnie in New York City, USA. Well, thanks for writing in, Vinnie. You know, the massive undertaking that is the study of the fingerboard, its scales, arpeggios, and its overall layout, combined with getting creative with how musical phrases and lines will operate, is obviously a huge undertaking. And like any other highly involved task, it takes a long time to see the kinds of successful and high-quality results that we generally will want. However, aside from the aspect of spending the time studying other players' licks and their playing styles and then adapting them into our own playing style, we can simply alter the lines that we already know and then use the altered phrases as a way to advance our playing in a new direction without incorporating a lot of new or a lot of highly complex ideas. So let's zoom in on the neck and discuss a few easy ways you can alter guitar licks that you already know right now. In the examples that I'm going to go through, I'll have a sample lick, our original lick, that we'll be going over a certain harmony with, and then I'll from there expand upon that and alter it to create a new lick using whatever specific topic that we're going to go through. Now, in the first example, I'll be taking a rather linear scale run in the key of G major, and I'll alter the run by applying a few guitar technique concepts. To be specific, I'll be applying hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. So first, let's play and get to know the phrase that we'll consider to be our original sample. Like I mentioned, it's in the key of G major, and it's going to go like this. Then I'm going to alter it by way of adding in hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. So I'll turn that phrase into this new one. So we went from something very basic into something a little fancier with all those hammer-ons and pull-offs and guitar attributes. Okay? And it's just as easy to do as that. Just get creative and keep trying to employ different kinds of techniques. It doesn't matter if the line changes a little bit from its original state. Obviously, the rhythmic content will probably change because of the addition of the different guitar techniques. But with some experimenting, I'm sure you can come up with some pretty cool ideas. Now, in the next example, I'm going to explore maintaining the exact rhythm structure, phrasing, and technique. However, this time I'll be altering notes from the line. Now, you'll want to be very careful when doing this, since playing a note that clashes too much might cause your line to get real ugly. So what we're going to do is we'll start with a guitar riff that's going to be just really a G major chord to a C chord. And the first line is going to be directly out of G major Ionian mode. It's going to go like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to experiment with swapping notes. And we still want to maintain a nice balance, though, over both the original phrase and the existing chord harmony. So what we're going to do in this particular case of the riff between the G to the C chord and back is we're going to alter the F sharp note from our G major Ionian mode phrase that we just played. And we're going to alter that out by moving F sharp down a half step into F natural. Now, if you know your modes, what we really just did over this chord riff is we went from being in Ionian mode G major to being in Mixolydian mode off of G. So we converted our F sharp, our 7th degree, to a flat 7, which gave us Mixolydian. So here's the new phrase using F natural. Here's the original. And here's the alter phrase in So the only thing different there really is we've converted F sharp tones to F natural. The line is slightly different. We resolve on a G note instead of on a D, but both of those phrases will work over top of the riff that we established, which is that G to C riff. Okay? Now, in the next lick example, number 3, that I want to do, it maintains the same rhythmic phrasing, the same techniques, and even the same geometrical orientation upon the fretboard. However, what we'll do differently now is simply relocate the phrase. If you've ever learned the solo from Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, Jimmy Page does this within that solo. It's something that can surprisingly be done with a lot of guitar lines, since many of the scale shapes will adhere to many similar geometrical layouts along the guitar fingerboard. So let's begin with the original sample. It's going to be in 5th position. It's going to go like this. Here it is again. So you can see there's a half step on the 2nd string. We move to a whole step on the 3rd string with the 1 pitch down lower on 4th string, a slide forward, a whole step on 3rd string, and then a kitty corner movement up. And we've got our 8th fret there in that case on the 2nd string. Now, the reason I went through that in so much detail is because we're going to do that exact same geometry, the exact same layout of that phrase, but we're going to relocate it to the 10th position. So it'll just become this. Same phrase in the way that it is geometrically oriented on the fretboard, and we're just moving it. Now, we did a lot of discussion about the layout of this lick because that's the real heavy topic here, but I also want to touch briefly on the idea of what the harmony is. This is covered in the key of D minor. Here's the first one. And here's the second one. Well, you know, the task of really expanding your abilities in this area will, as I mentioned earlier, take a great deal of time and effort. It's especially difficult if you cannot find or cannot afford a good guitar teacher, but you can get great results on your own by spending time transcribing the lines, melodies, technical attributes of any guitar player that sounds interesting to you. Essentially, if you hear a line that sounds cool, played by any guitarist on any recording, learn those parts, because transcribing parts played by other guitarists, no matter who they are, will advance your own guitar playing faster than almost any other method I can think of. So do that, plus try out the ideas I've discussed here in this lesson as well. And I'm pretty sure that in no time at all you'll be playing concepts on the instrument that will be both new and a lot more fun than playing all the lines that you already know and are tired of. Anyway, once again, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.